welcome to this week's episode of MN Outdoors. This week we have a special guest, Walleye Man himself, Paul Goldberg. Stay tuned and you will like what you see ahead.
Good morning, Uncle Paul here. I'm going to talk today about two of the types of fish I enjoy fishing the most, bass and the elusive walleye. There's a dandy right there that I caught 31.5 inches, and I'm going to show you four of my favorite lures. Two of my favorite for bass, two of my favorite for walleyes, and how to present them. Bass fishing, obviously, when you're in the lily pads and later in the year when they're seeking some shelter, obviously the frog, everybody has one of these, and I like that dark colored one, especially with the longer legs on there. And patience is key when fishing with this lure. The pause is critical. Throw it out there, I let it sit 5-10 seconds, give it a twitch. Then I let it sit there again for a few seconds. A bass will always look at it, and they're not necessarily looking always for the action. If you can outweight them, they get impatient, and boom, you're going to find you're going to have more strikes and more success. Also a key when fishing these is once you see the fish hit it, you got to let them take it for just a second. You know, let them take it a few feet away, because they'll hit it in their mouth, they'll readjust it in their mouth, and that's the time to set the hook. Love fishing this lure. Especially when in deep lily pads, later in the year when it's hot out, extremely well. One of the most versatile baits I like is called the boogie bait. They come in a whole bunch of different colors. It's a blade type lure. It's got a combination of a nice skirt, a little tinsel, but the tail here, the twin tail on these, I think just that extra little motion. The faster you reel, the higher up in the water it goes. You can twitch it, you can reel it, you can do all different kinds. I like white and purple, but it's just a great all-around lure. You'll catch pike on this, a lot of largemouth bass, occasional walleye, but not too often. But this is really one of my favorite lures. You can buy the jig head in different weights. I tend to like this 3/4 ounce one. It goes down a little deeper, and I can get down into the deeper weeds much more efficiently with this, depending on if I'm fishing over a cabbage area or something. Great lure, the boogie bait. When walleye fishing, if I'm not Lindy rigging or bottom bouncing, earlier in the year, I tend to like this Rapala BX10 here. It's got BBs in there. I really enjoy the eyes. I think the holographic eyes really work good. This is a 3-inch lure. I tend to like this one. It's nice and fat. It's got a little red color on there. It looks like some of the local forage here in Minnesota, which is either a whitefish or shiners, and I really enjoy fishing this. This one goes down only about 4 feet. I tend to fish this early in the spring, around the weed beds and the weed lines, and maybe 10 feet of water when they're up there getting ready to spawn or just after spawning. Really a good lure. And the BBs, you can hear the BBs, I think, just again, attracted. It allows them to hear it, see it. In the darker colored water, sound is important, where they'll be attracted to the sound. Later in the year, I tend to like to troll with the Walleye diver. And you can see it's a very curved shape, it's very thin. Again, the shiny colors work great. Again, this is about a 3-inch lure. Really have a great time using this one here. If I'm going out deeper, a lot of times I'll use this even with a downrigger or an adjustable lead ball that you can put up about 6-7 feet away from your lure to help get that lure down to where you need it to go. But again, the Walleye diver, the Rapala BX10 with BBs in it, great lures. Try them out, you'll like it.